If you're managing more than 5 Azure virtual networks manually, you're wasting hours every week and probably have security gaps you don't even know about. Today I'll show you how Azure Virtual Network Manager eliminates both problems in under 10 minutes of setup.
Hey everyone, great to be back on the show.
Welcome back to the Network Ninja Cloudcast. I'm your host, and today we're tackling something that's going to save you serious time if you're working with Azure at any kind of scale.
So I've been dealing with this exact problem at work. We have like 12 virtual networks across 3 subscriptions, and every time we need to add a new connectivity rule or security policy, I have to touch each one individually. It's painful.
That's the exact pain point Azure Virtual Network Manager was built to solve. Think about it this way. Before AVNM, managing network topology in Azure was like being a city planner who has to personally visit every single intersection to change a traffic light. You want to implement a new traffic pattern? Great. Drive to all 200 intersections and configure each one manually.
That sounds exhausting and error-prone.
Exactly. And here's where the analogy holds up technically. Azure Virtual Network Manager gives you a central control room where you define your traffic patterns once, and they automatically propagate to every intersection, or in our case, every virtual network in your defined scope. The key difference from manual management is that AVNM uses what Microsoft calls network groups and configuration deployments.
Okay, so what exactly is a network group?
A network group is a logical container for your virtual networks. You can add VNets to a group either statically, where you manually select them, or dynamically using conditional expressions defined right within the network group configuration. For example, you could create a condition that says any VNA with the tag environment equals production automatically joins the production network group. These conditional expressions can match on VNA tags, names, subscriptions, or resource group membership, and it's all configured directly in AVNM, not through Azure policy as a separate service.
Wait, so if I tag a new VNet correctly, it just automatically gets all the policies and connectivity rules?
Exactly right. And this is where AVNM really shines. There are 2 main configuration types you'll work with. First is connectivity configurations, which handle your network topology. You can create hub and spoke topologies or mesh topologies. In a mesh configuration, every VNet in the group can communicate directly with every other VNet through what AVNM calls a connected group.
So I don't have to manually create peering connections anymore?
Correct. AVNM mesh configurations create a connected group that enables direct connectivity between all member VNets. The implementation abstracts away individual peering management, so you don't need to think about creating and maintaining all those individual connections. For 10 METs, that's the equivalent of 45 bidirectional connections you'd have to manage manually. The formula is n times n minus 1 divided by 2. AVNM handles all of that complexity for you. Now here's the second configuration type, and this is where security teams get excited. Security admin rules.
How are those different from regular network security groups?
Great question, and this is a critical distinction. NSGs are evaluated at the subnet or NIC level and can be overridden by users with the right permissions. Security admin rules in AVNM are evaluated before NSGs and cannot be overridden by subscription owners. They're enforced at a higher level in the network stack.
So it's like having a corporate firewall policy that individual teams can't bypass, even if they have admin rights on their own subscriptions?
That's a perfect analogy, and it holds up technically. Security admin rules have 3 action types. Always allow, which is one word, permits traffic and bypasses NSG evaluation entirely. Allow permits traffic at the admin level but still continues to NSG evaluation, so NSGs can still block it. And deny blocks traffic outright. Now here's the important part about how these rules are evaluated. They're processed in priority order based on the priority number you assign, with lower numbers evaluated first.
So it's not evaluated by action type. It's by priority number?
Exactly. When traffic matches a rule, the action determines what happens next. If it matches a deny rule, traffic is blocked and evaluation stops. If it matches an always allow rule, traffic is permitted and evaluation stops, completely bypassing NSGs. If it matches an allow rule, traffic is permitted at the admin level, but then NSG rules are still evaluated. And if traffic doesn't match any security admin rule, it proceeds directly to NSG evaluation.
What's a real-world use case for deny?
Say your security team mandates that no production workload should ever communicate directly with the internet on port 22. You create a security admin rule with deny for outbound traffic to destination 0.0.0.0/0 on port 22, and you give it a low priority number so it's evaluated early. Even if a developer creates an NSG rule allowing it, the traffic is blocked because the security admin rule is evaluated first. This is documented in Microsoft's Security Admin Rule Evaluation documentation.
Okay, what are the common mistakes people make with AVNM?
First mistake is forgetting that configurations must be explicitly deployed to regions. You create a configuration, but nothing happens until you deploy it. Each deployment targets specific regions, so if you have nets in East US and West Europe, you need to deploy to both regions.
That seems like an easy thing to miss.
It is. Second mistake is not understanding the scope hierarchy. AVNM can be scoped to a management group, a subscription, or multiple subscriptions. If your scope is a single subscription but your VNets span 3 subscriptions, AVNM can only manage VNets in that one subscription. Careful scope planning upfront is critical, so check the current documentation for your options if you need to expand scope later, as this may require specific procedures.
Let me make sure I've got this. Azure Virtual Network Manager gives me centralized control over network topology through connectivity configurations and security enforcement through security admin rules. I organize mainnets into network groups, which can be dynamic based on conditional expressions, matching tags, or other properties. And security admin rules are evaluated by priority number before NSGs, with 3 action types: always allow, and deny.
Perfect summary. My pro tip is to start with a single network group containing your non-production VNets. Deploy a mesh connectivity configuration and one security admin rule with a deny action blocking a specific port. Watch how it propagates. Once you're comfortable, expand to production.
That's a safe way to learn without breaking anything critical.
That's it for today's episode. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
And share this with anyone managing multiple Azure virtual networks. This will save them hours.
Thanks for watching the Network Ninja Cloudcast. See you in the next one.